So, I'm not someone who's into the paranormal or the supernatural. I don't believe in ghosts, monsters, aliens, or anything like that. However, I have to write about what happened to me last week, because I honestly don't know how to explain it. I work in the sales department for a large company, and I'm frequently required to travel. When I have to go out of town for business, I almost always drive. I've always loved road trips, and I really enjoy the time alone. It's just me, some music, greasy fast food, and the open road. When I'm on a longer trip, I usually sleep in a hotel somewhere in the daytime and drive at night. There aren't as many people on the road, and there's less chance of getting a ticket for speeding. It was during my last road trip that I experienced something strange. And it was the scariest thing that's ever happened to me. I was driving through Texas along Interstate 40. I had left Amarillo and was planning to drive through Albuquerque to Flagstaff. Sometime after 1 a.m., I drove through a small town in Texas called Glen Rio. Glen Rio seemed to be either completely closed down at that time of night, or it was a total ghost town. About 10 miles later, there was a rest stop. As you can expect, it was just your typical dirty rest stop with a few vending machines and a restroom. I figured I'd pull in, use the restroom, maybe grab a candy bar and a soda from one of the machines, and continue along the interstate. First of all, there weren't any other cars parked in the rest stop, which isn't unusual outside a small town at that time of night. I parked my car and headed for the restroom. The restroom was dirty, dimly lit with those stainless steel toilets. There was graffiti on the walls and along the mirrors, and that usual gross smell that's unique to rest stop bathrooms. There was nothing more unusual or strange about it than any restroom you'd see at any other rest stop in America. I went into one of the stalls to do my business, and that's when I started hearing a strange noise. It sounded like laughter, but kind of gargled. Almost like someone was laughing from underwater. I don't know how else to explain it. It wasn't a loud laughter, more of a chuckle. It was only for a moment, and then it stopped. Like I said, I'm a very rational person, so I didn't think much of it. I thought it was probably just a plumbing issue or something. Just before I had finished doing my business, I heard it again. Only it was louder this time. Just a gargled laugh. The bathroom had several stalls, and like I said, it was dimly lit. The sound was coming from the stall furthest down, and the stall door was closed, and it was the stall with the least amount of light, rendering it almost totally dark. "Hello?" I said. As soon as I spoke, the sound stopped again. "Is anyone in there? Are you all right?" There was another sound, almost like someone dragging their feet. Then there was silence. I bent down so I could see underneath the stalls. Now, like I said, there wasn't much light illuminating that particular bathroom stall, but I could tell there was no one in there. I shrugged and went to wash my hands before heading back out to my car. Just as I was drying my hands, I heard a creak. I never turned around, but behind my reflection in the mirror, I could see the door to that dark stall slowly creaking open. What I saw instantly filled me with the worst sense of dread I'd ever experienced. It looked like a man, but I knew it wasn't. The stall door had opened only just a crack, and I could see half of its face. It had a smile too large for its face, sharp yellow teeth, dark black eyes like a doll's, and no nose. It was almost gray in color, with patches of dirty black hair. I just stared at this thing, and it laughed again. The laugh was different this time. It sounded how the devil must sound if he were to laugh. I ran out of that bathroom like a bat out of hell, with that horrible laughter following me the whole time. I didn't stop and look back to see if that thing had followed me out of the bathroom until I got to my car. I was alone in the parking lot, and whatever it was never came after me. I continued my drive, and the rest of my trip was fine. I just made it back home yesterday, and thought maybe it would help to make sense of things if I wrote it down. Like I said, I'm a rational person. I don't believe in the paranormal or supernatural. But if you're driving through Glen Rio, Texas, don't stop at any rest stops. Just to be safe.